when we went to Jaipura, there is a temple of Annapurneshwari right inside the campus. And how it came about is also quite interesting because the Annapurneshwari wanted to be installed in the campus. She is from that area. There is a temple at Oranadu of Annapurneshwari, and then whatever went into do the Annapurneshwari statue and install her there. And then when the Prana Pratishtha was done, she came and occupied the Vigraha. And then she started living there. So once we went there, when you go there, you have to say something. When you meet somebody, how do you meet somebody? Good morning, good evening, something you have to say. But we meet these divine beings, we have to say something in their stuti. Stoma, we have to say something to praise them. So it occurred to me that Shankaracharya, who wrote the Annapurneshwari, the Stotram, based on the description of which the Annapurneshwari statue was created. And Oranadu Dharmadhikari, whatever he knows from his intellectual understanding, not the experiential understanding, intellectual understanding, he told that there has to be a black stone statue and she has to be sitting and whatever, 2 hands only, no 4 hands, and things like that. I told no, she has to be standing and she has to be white stone, Shweta Shila, and not Krishna. Don't do that. And also she should have 4 hands. Pasha Ankusha should also be there, and also should be there the hand which serves the bowl of payasam or whatever anna food. And one side and another hand should have a ladle to serve. She should stand like this on a lotus. And she should be white dressed. So then the debate happened between the head and the heart. And then I told you, read the Annapurneshwari Stotram of Shankaracharya. You will get some idea. And he read. He read and said exactly, she is Shweta Varna only and 4 hands only. Only standing, sitting, it was not mentioned, but I said let her stand. Because when you are serving, you should stand and serve. When you are eating, you should sit and eat, isn't it? So mother, when she is serving, she is alert, she is active. So she should be standing and serving. What kind of mother will be sitting and serving? You come and eat, otherwise go. So that doesn't match the description of a mother who serves. She's always active, she's energetic, she's enthusiastic. And that enthusiasm should be shown in her standing and doing it. Why sitting does not suit that description of Annapurneshwari, I said. So whenever Shiva went to beg to Mother Annapurneshwari, she wouldn't have sat at her seat and said, come here and take what you want. Actually, she would have stood up to receive the mendicant and offer food. So that is why standing statue. So that mantra, the stotram, the Annapurneshwari Prarthana is there in that. What is the Prarthana? Annapurne, Sadapurne, Shankara Pranavallabhe, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham, Bhiksham Dehi Cha Parvati. Isn't it? Dosa Vada Cha Siddhyartham, Pizza, Samosa Cha Siddhyartham, Cake, ice cream cha siddhyartham. No. What should someone think if they go to Annapurneshwari? She gives whatever food you want. Not even payasam, not even annam. Annapurneshwari, not even anna payasam. Jnana Vairagya Shankaracharya went and asked Annapurneshwari. So what is to be asked from Mother Annapurna? She'll give you everything. She is mother, she is ready to feed you. She is very ready, steady and feed. But what should you go and ask her? So Shankaracharya went and asked what? He asked, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. Oh mother, bless me that I may have jnana and vairagya as a bhiksha from you, as the alms from you. I am a beggar at your door. And I don't beg for this food of this world, because this food will be today there, tomorrow digested. This body is today there, tomorrow digested. But for my Atma, I need some food, which is weak and hungry. And what is the food for this Atma? Jnana Vairagya, because that is what strengthens the Atman. If you pour more water in a thorny bush, a thorn will grow. If you pour the same water in a rose bush, rose will grow. So I want your grace not for wealth and progeny and cattle and prosperity of the world. I want your grace. I beg you that give me jnana and vairagya as the bhiksha. So it occurred to me, oh, Shankaracharya asked for jnana vairagya siddhyartham bhiksham dehi. Give me bhiksha. That is what is to be asked of God. God may give 100 things. Arthi, artharthi. God may do 100 things, give 100 things. Whether you need it, you ask for it, whether you don't ask for it, if God thinks it is needed, He will give. But when we are face to face with God, what should come out of our mouths? What should we stretch our hands for? Not these worldly things. We should start saying, give me jnana, give me vairagya. These are the things to be asked of God, because you are all in right now discussing vairagya and you are all, I am getting messages, letters, so difficult, so difficult, so difficult. Then ask God, give me vairagya, give me jnana. Who knows, because you are sincere asking, you will say, for once they are not asking me for marks and positions and salary hikes and promotions. Okay, at least jnana vairagya, let us see what he does with it. God may think like that. Who knows, he may give. Vivekananda, Naren as he was that time, went to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa after his father's demise. He had not come for a couple of days. And our Ramakrishna was restless, because unless he heard Vivekananda sing in the evening, he wouldn't have his food. He was restless, up and down, he'll be marching the steps of Dakshineshwar temple. So they sent a word for him. He found out that his father had passed away and his uncle had, absorbed all the properties, and so many things happened and they are in trouble. So this Naren was called. He came with a long face, that they were on roads now. They had nothing at their home. He did not know how to look after his mother. He was still a student. He had a younger brother, 2 sisters, and loans on their head. Suddenly one prince, he became a pauper. So he came to Ramakrishna Paramahamsa and he said that, I am suffering and you are simply wanting me to sing. In what heart should I sing with? I am suffering with my family problems. Mother, father is lost. I lost my father. Mother is widow. And my sisters and brother, and so much of trouble is there. So Ramakrishna said, why do you come and fight with me for that? Go and ask mother. She is the giver of everything. You ask her. Please. So Vivekananda Naren then, okay, fine, I will ask her, because this madman is not going to do anything. Anyway, he has nothing to give me. Ramakrishna had as such nothing. So he told, mother is this, you ask. So they dramatized this very nicely, some of our students, how Vivekananda went inside the mother's temple and closes his eyes, goes with the firm determination to ask for financial help, problems to be solved, all these things. But when he goes there, he says, in Bengali as this nation, Amake bhakti dao, vairagya dao, gyan dao. Give me bhakti, vairagya, jnana. He forgets asking all the things that he had planned to ask. And he comes out so peace and serene. He has forgotten all his troubles. Because the moment he asks, he has already given some vairagya, a little bhakti, a little jnana. Comes back, again Ramakrishna Paramahamsa says, so you asked mother for whatever you wanted. He said, no, I couldn't remember. I went there and I, stabdo bhavati, they say. When bhakti comes, you become stabdha, stunned, you can't speak, you can't understand, you can't say, you can't react. You're frozen in a state of bliss, not out of fear. So again he says, go, ask again. Don't go back empty-handed, go ask. So he goes back again. Again he asks, give me bhakti, jnana, vairagya. Jnana vairagya siddhyartham, bhiksham dehi, cha Parvati. Same as Shankaracharya. Again he comes out peaceful. And Ramakrishna says, now you have asked what you wanted to ask. He says, I went inside to ask this time, doubly determined, but when I went inside, I forgot. And all I ended up asking is vairagya, jnana, bhakti. Again, third time, Sri Ramakrishna, it seems sense. So Sri Ramakrishna is playing that cat and mouse game. He knows that this boy will not be able to ask. He's so pure-hearted. Simply is agitated because of the present situations. But that is not what he is, truly inside. So whenever he went in front of the mother, the only thing that he asked was, give me jnana, vairagya, bhakti. Why it is important? Now as you travel on this path of self-analysis, self-detachment, without God's help it's not possible. Without God's help is not possible. If you think you can do it yourself because of your tremendous determination or something like that, without God's help it's not possible. God alone can grant vairagya, ultimate vairagya, not the day-to-day vairagya. What kind of vairagyas are there? We all go through. I don't want sweets, thank you. Reason? Chronic diabetes. So vairagya to sweets have not come because of your true dispassion for sweets. It's come because this is helpless situation. There's no choice to your vairagya. You're trying to buy some big car, but you couldn't, bank rejected the loan. What happens then? No, these cars and all are all worldly material things, We should not be going after them, you see. Because he has announced to the whole world that he's buying a car. And now what happens? Everybody says, what happened to your car? You were supposed to get a car. He said, I thought about it, but then I heard Swami's voice in my heart. See, vairagya, what is this running behind car? Body is the car. Use that car well. Therefore vairagya came. I said, no, I will not waste money. But is that the truth? That's not the vairagya. That is all excuses for the vairagya. Let us say even you've put some good effort, as I told you, met with a shock in life. And then vairagya came suddenly, like this Arjuna's vairagya. No, I don't want to fight the war, I'd rather beg and eat. Do you think it's real vairagya? It was momentary reaction to the circumstances. So what happened? Krishna said, let me teach this fellow. He's the same fellow as I don't want sweets because I am diabetic. I don't want car because the loan got rejected. No, I don't like this marriage, Maya, Kamini, Kanchana. Actually that girl rejected the proposal. So Kamini, Kanchana are not for me. So she rejected the proposal. Look at your face, monkey-faced. Who will marry you in good? Any girl with proper eyesight will never marry you. No, I gave up that pursuit. We should not run behind women, wine, wealth. Okay, so this kind of vairagyas don't work. Even if they come because of situation or a shock or whatever, they are apara vairagyas, they stay for some time, markata vairagya. They are there, but they are not there the next moment. At this point in time, you may think you have conquered it. It's gone out of your mind. But next few weeks, the pendulum swings the other way, and again those thoughts are coming back. So what? Everybody deserves a second chance at life. So what if I was rejected? So what if that bank rejected? Let me apply in another bank. So what if that man or woman rejected the proposal? Let me try somewhere else. Long life. Why should I not? So mind will teach you. Mind will teach you all the tricks. So apara vairagya will not last long. It may give you temporary peace. I am not saying that vairagya will not give you peace. It will give you peace for some time. But how much peace? How long? It is not para shanti. It is not the para. It is only apara shanti. For time being it will come and you will recover because you read a few Bhagavad Gita shlokas and you console yourself, That no, this is how life is. Anityam asukam lokam, there is nothing in this world. It's impossible to find happiness. You will teach yourself some jnana. Roam around from one ashram to the other, take up some meditation programs, online, offline. And finally what you will do? After a month or two, those thoughts will start coming again. And then again you find it so difficult to control it and suffer with that. So that is not true vairagya. It's not at all true vairagya. That is why we have to focus on a para vairagya. Para vairagya is that which comes and does not go. Once it arrives, it only grows and grows and grows. It doesn't go. This comes and goes, apara vairagya. Para vairagya comes and grows. So how do we attain this para vairagya? Apara vairagya, I told many situations are there. One, you are helpless. So you cannot do anything, so you call yourself Vairagi. Shocks in life, rude shocks in life that made you turn away from that thing, at least for the time being, and you think you are a Vairagi. Or let us say, by a lot of thinking, no, this is not right, this is not, somehow you convinced yourself for the time being. So you gave up that pursuit. That is also apara Vairagya. The para Vairagya, how does it come is the question. Yesterday I told you must try for para Vairagya. That is the end of all the problems. Right now you might have done some studies and you might have rejected some of your thoughts and desires as unnecessary, unwanted. Even deep-rooted desires, you would have said, even though it's there, I don't want to act upon it. Let it be there, but I don't want to act upon it. You have developed some kind of a strength, you think, but how long will this strength last is the question. It won't last for too long. Like we go to Gulbarga, all the grass dries up during summer. Come rain, everything is green again. So seasonal Vairagya this is. This will go away. With the next season arrives, all the thoughts and desires will start growing back again. It won't last. So the real Vairagya, but it will help you right now to calm your mind and focus a little bit. But the real Vairagya is the para Vairagya. How does para Vairagya come? The para Vairagya, our Patanjali told us in his thing. What did he tell? He said, Drishta Anushravika Vishay Vitrishnasya Vashikara Sangya. Whatever you see here externally, I see, I don't want, it is not a good thing to see. Let us turn my head other. Then you have heard something, nice gossip, nice candle. This is not the right thing to hear. Let me turn my ears away. Some way you controlled your physical body and stayed away from that distraction, that vairagya, and thought it is some vairagya. Yes, he says, yes, if you have controlled those faculties, those organs, and kept it in your control, yes, you are a vairagi, but it is only apara vairagya. It's lower level of vairagya. Why? Because you have only turned your body and the senses away from them. And temporarily maybe mind also away from them. Mind also you turned away, let us say. You took the mind and put it on a higher thing, detached from that and attached it to God. For the time being you are safe. But this also may or may not last. The higher vairagya, he again says, how does it? Param Purusha, Tat Param Purusha Khyate. By knowing that Parama Purusha, that Tat Param Purusha, that supreme being, Khyate hai, knowing that, what happens? Not this time Vishaya Vitrishnasya. This time we are not getting rid of our Vishayas, the senses and sense organs. Guna. We are getting rid of Guna Vitrishna. Earlier, first time what we did? Senses. I close my eyes and don't want to see that. I close my ears and walk away. For some reason, mind also is going back. I kick the mind and put it on God. I am safe. But deep down, your gunas are still there. The seeds are still there. Where did you get these from? From your previous births. They have come because of whatever you have done in your previous lifetimes. And they form your nature. Some people are generally short-tempered. Some people are generally very soft. Some people are generally very loud. Some people generally are very desirous. Some people are generally sattvic. In a class of 30, you will find students of all kinds. Where did they come from, all this? All these gunas came. That is why Krishna says, what I have done, prakrite kriyamanani, all the actions of the prakriti, gunai karmani sarvasha. Gunas only make us do. Guna only is doing. We think we are doing. Ahankara, vimudatma. I am doing, you think, vimudatma, you are deluded. Karta aham iti manyate. Who believes I am doing. He is actually fool because his gunas are pushing him to do what he wants to do. Janami dharmam nachame pravritti. I know what is good, I cannot follow good. That is what Duryodhana laments. Why? Because his gunas, the lobha, the moha, the krodha, dvesha, all these are so strong in him that knowing also he is not able to follow. So gunas are pushing him. Ravana, he is a great jnani, Shiva Bhakta, a Brahmana. Yet, he could not control his mind. He got angry when his sister was humiliated. And more importantly, when got infatuated when he saw Sita. And wanted her to be married to him, another man's wife. And all his buddhi, everything went bati bhrashta. Viparita buddhi. Why it happened? Despite all the knowledge. Because he could not get rid of the guna. So the higher vairagya comes when you are able to get rid of your gunas. Lower vairagya by turning away from the sense objects. For whatever reason, it burnt your hand, so you turned away from fire. It's not possible for you to get it, it's not in your reach, so you say, I don't want it. Somebody gave a rude shock to you, oh, this is not no good. Or even by your own analysis, discrimination, viveka, that say that no, these are not good. Swami told it is not good, parents tell it is not good. And I've heard stories of people who got into this and got into trouble. So you remind and reminded by your smaran, you are able to, for the time being, get rid of them. But your gunas which are there inside, they have not gone anywhere. They are very much there. So what will happen after 15 days, 30 days, 1 month of this practice? Slowly they will start growing back again. Where from? The seeds of the guna. They are still embedded in the soil of the mind. You only plugged. So how do you uproot it? As I said, the only possibility is when you know the ultimate. Then all your gunas are once for all cleaned up. Vivekananda says they are like seeds roasted in the fire of jnana. All your gunas and karmas which you roasted, once you roast the seed, it becomes infertile. You cannot grow, it cannot germinate. So once for all those gunas, even if they are there, they don't, trouble you at all. All your karmas, all your past vasanas, gunas, everything becomes destroyed. So what happens? Only then you attain the true vairagya. To get rid of these gunas, this is not easy. Why it's not easy? Because it's been coming from many births. If it was some habit you picked up last week, this week it's easier to get rid of. These are coming from births after births after births. And based on that, you have a lot of tamas or a lot of rajas or a lot of sattva. Even sattva is an obstacle, as we discussed. Having good feelings also. Even actually the thought that I must realize God also is an obstacle, as Ramana said. Any thought is an obstacle. It is one step away from the ultimate. That is the truth. I must love Swami. That thought also is an obstacle. Loving Swami should be natural. Thinking that I must love Swami is an obstacle. So that sattva thought also must go away at the end, so that you become whatever it is. You don't have to think and become. You become that. So that is why sattva guna also has to go at the end. Guna tita you have to become, because that is the quality of God, is beyond gunas. And whatever happens, prakrite kriyamanani. If there is anything that God wants me to do, as part of the nature, as part of my prarabdha, it will go on. I don't get involved. Somebody asked a very interesting question. From the child, the moment I was born, I didn't like some of the things. Is it dislike or is this dispassion? Is it vairagya? I didn't like some of the things. Like some children don't like brinjal. We see it after the lunch session, we know. All brinjals are in the dustbin. They select from the vegetables what they like. Some people don't like some beans. They'll eat the potato and throw the beans. Don't they do that? So are they vairagis of brinjal and vairagis of beans? Can I say that? Because they were born with a taste bud which does not appreciate the taste of brinjal or taste of potatoes, or they don't like sweets. Some children are there. I am surprised because I am so fond of sweets. They say, no, I don't like sweets. I said, what are you doing? You don't like sweets? I think like that sometimes. Now I also don't like sweets. That's over. When children, whether you keep sweets in front of them, they'll not leave one also. Whereas now when you grow up, even sweets are there, you will pick up small bit. One is that you are health conscious, you are old now and sweets are not going to do any good to you. It will add to your circumference and lead to Satish Babu's clinic. I always tease people. If you eat too much sweet, I tell you will have to go for Satish Babu's darshan. I say, diabetes. So now that consciousness has come. So that also is some kind of vairagya. Because sweets are there, nobody is stopping you from eating, it is right in front of your eyes. You like sweet also. But there is a higher consciousness what says that don't eat sweets. Why? It's not good for your health. So you followed the higher viveka. What viveka says? Don't eat because it's not good for health. So give up. So even though sweets are in front of you, even though you like sweets, you still give it up, not because of you already are diabetic, not situation. You may become diabetic, or it is not good for you at this age. It's a rajasic food. Let us not eat it. See, that is viveka and this is vairagya. I don't like beans. And hostel, our hostel is a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sarva curry. Monday one curry, Tuesday one curry, Saturday, sarva curry. All that leftover vegetables our cooks will put, make one, they very nicely put it, mixed vegetable curry, they'll write. As if it's some exotic dish. Basically what it is, all that which is left over from the last week's vegetable, whatever is lying in the freezer and the store, pick up, cut it all, put them together, boil it, whatever comes out of it, mixed vegetable curry. And then children don't like it. And what they do, they'll dig in their plate. Whatever they like in that, they have some 6, 7 or nobody knows how many. All mixed. What they dig and pull out what they like. They like potatoes, they'll take the potatoes, eat, throw the rest. Or they like, let's say, carrots, they'll take the carrots and throw the rest. They like something else, they'll throw the rest. So when they throw the rest, is it vairagya? It's not vairagya. Because you are born with certain tastes. Already having born with certain tastes, now what comes in front of you, even though it is right in front of you and you like it, still you decide it's not good for you. You have a viveka operating here which says, though it is available to you in plenty and nobody is going to stop you, ask you a question. Yet you tell yourself, I don't want it because beyond this it is not good for me. It's not what is going to help me. That is viveka. And this is vairagya. So vairagya is not situational, circumstance based or some kind of helplessness based. It is based on viveka only. But even viveka helps you only to some extent. Because gunas which are in you, they cannot be destroyed by just viveka alone. So why did Shankaracharya say, see, every word is so important. What he said? Jnana. Vairagya siddhartham, viveka vairagya siddhartham he didn't say. Though he has written Viveka Chudamani, the whole scripture. He could have as well asked viveka from mother. He said, Jnana vairagya siddhartham. Through viveka I have attained some vairagya. I know it. By nitya, anitya viveka, sat, asat viveka, I have understood some bit of truth. Based on that, I put some effort and got rid of some of my unnecessary things. Now, I need to destroy the gunas also. Patanjali also says, Guna vitrishnya, get rid of the gunas. How you get rid of? Tat param purusha khyate. By knowing the ultimate supreme self, get rid of the guna vairagya also you get it. But it's so difficult. That's why Annapurneshwari, please give me the jnana, because jnana alone help me to get the real vairagya. Till then there is no respite for this soul. There are temporary reliefs like painkillers. But the disease is not gone. You may feel relieved. Take a brufen or take something. You feel relieved for that day. But the back pain is not gone because there is a slip disc. No, everybody knows there is a slip disc. You know there is a slip disc. But today you are not feeling the pain. You seem like very enthusiastic. You are playing, jumping, doing everything. Unmindful of the pain because you have taken a little bit of painkiller. That's all. So these vairagya, apara vairagya, even with viveka when it comes with temporariness in it. The real vairagya, it comes only with dhyana. Once that jnana comes, all your gunas disappear. So only to a jnani it is given to lead a peaceful, happy life. That is what you were reading in Kathoparishad today. Tesham sukham shashvatam netaresham. Tesham shantim shashvatim netaresham. Only to them it is given what? Sukham. What kind? Shashvatam. Netaresham. To others it's not given. Only to them given what? Shantim. What kind? Shashvati. Netaresham. For others it's not given. It's very clear that guna is finally has to be gotten rid of. Your tamas, your rajas, even your sattva. So some people may be born sattva gunis, they have some good qualities. They are generally averse to the worldly pleasure, generally, because from the previous birth they have practiced this viveka vairagya. They have practiced in previous birth, they have accumulated punya of that. So sometimes they are born with vairagya. But for them also, what else is left they have to ask. They should not take the refuge in the fact that I was born with a distaste for certain things, so I am already a vairagya. No, they should not take like that. They should see now, in the present times, considering that my nature is already like this, what are the things which are still to be gotten rid of? Where they are arising from? They are all arising from our gunas only. They are not arising from anywhere else. If I get angry, it's because I have some anger in me. That guna is there, rajas is there. If I am compassionate, some sattva is there in me. That's why I feel compassion. So these gunas are already there. They are seeds. The more water you pour, the more they grow. When they grow, what happens? They create more seeds. That is what they do. Yesterday we discussed karmas are there. There are karmas who are in the past, sanchita. There are prarabdhas which are already we are suffering with. And there is agami. So each karma leads to another karma. The longer you live, the more karmas you will create for yourself. Every day you live, some other karma you will create. Now that karma will go into your baggage. And that will manifest some other day. And when it manifests and that's influence, you will create one more karma. So there is an unending cycle of this karma. The only way it ends is jnani. What happens to jnani? His past is destroyed, his future is destroyed. Future destroyed means future karmas are destroyed. Future is very bright for a jnani. But present prarabdhas are also the only thing that he suffers with, because it's already gone out of the hand. Now he can't hold it. So okay, let us suffer for that. Anyway, most of my problems are taken care of because I have attained jnana. Other than jnanis, it's not given to anybody to lead a peaceful and a happy life forever. Simply wishing happy birthday, happy new year, happy wedding anniversary, happy, no happy will come. It's foolishness to say. When people, that is why I laugh when people say, no, happy birthday, happy. I really wish they know what happy means in that. What truly that happy means. I wish when parents say, Sukhi Bhava, they really know what they are wishing for. Because they don't know, they're just wishing you superficially. Sukhanga bhava shemanga undandi, they say. What is sukha, what is shema? They don't even know. Their sukha shema is get married, have a big house and some deposits, get a good job, possible, settle down in America. In present times, nobody would like to go, but generally, everybody wants to go. Why? That is sukham, that is shemam. But that's all the parents, the ajnanis know, ajnani parents. The jnani parents will what? Atma siddhi rastu, moksha prapti rastu. That is the kind of sukham they will wish for. Sukham shashvatim they will wish for, not the ordinary sukha. But problem is that our teachers don't know, our parents don't know, friends to forget, they don't know anything. Happy, 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 they'll keep wishing for every birthday. But do they really know what they're wishing for? They don't know. So a jnani, when he looks at this world, his heart bleeds. Arey, look at this ocean of ajnana everywhere. Everywhere, everybody is leading such ignorant lives. They are not understanding what is the true meaning, true purpose. They say things, they don't even know what they are saying. They do things, they don't even know what they are doing. They just don't know how they are living, what is it, what disaster they are getting into. They don't know. That is why Jnani's heart melts. And with compassion he comes and teaches them. Look, what you are doing is not right. Or you must correct it. You must correct it. You must, now at this time is there, correct yourself. That is the compassion of a Jnani. They take the shape of a Guru, and then Guru teaches the way out of this mess. The way out of this chakravyuha. He teaches or she teaches, whichever be the case. So you have to understand that ultimate peace will not be possible unless you have attained that wisdom. Jnana, vairagya. Only with jnana the ultimate paravairagya will come. Viveka will help with paravairagya also, yes, because through viveka you realize, I cannot get rid of these vasanas. These are deep-rooted gunas. The only way I can get rid of only way of getting rid of it is through jnana. And jnana means I have to have pure heart. Jnanodayam will not happen otherwise. Even if sun rises, Suryodayam happens and sky is full of clouds, does it make it bright for you? No. Like that in an impure mind, even if Jnanodayam happens by chance also, it will not be felt, the effect of it will not be felt by the mind at all, because it's clouded with so many desires and wants and thoughts. Now somebody asked me, so my desire to meet my parents, meet my friends, go home, are these all wrong desires? Are there any obstacles in my path? What is the way then? Should I not love my parents? On one side you teach Matru Devo, Pitru Devo Bhava. Another side you're telling, no, you should also have this dispassion for everything in life. So how do I balance this? The truth is that at the end, you only are chanting, no? What you are chanting? Where is Mata for me? Where is Pita for me? I am the Atman, Aja, Nitya. How can I have anybody? So when you think you are the Atman, you think your parents are also Atman. And deal with them accordingly. When you are in the Deha Bhava, because you are not in the Jnana Bhava, deal with them according to the Deha Bhava, but with the understanding that parent you can be respected, can be looked after, can be taken care of, but cannot be attached to. Like somebody wrote, if my mother is dying and the Yama appears and says, I have boon for you. 1, I'll offer you latest model of iPhone. 2, I'll give you Brahma Jnana. 3, I'll save your dying mother. What should I ask? So I told, so he was, if I was there, I would have asked, save my dying mother as a son, that is my dharma. I told, no, you should have asked for iPhone. No, I didn't say that. I said, you asked for Brahma Jnana. Why? Kulam Pavitram, Janani Kritartham. The mother of even a dying mother of a Brahma Jnani will attain higher realms. By virtue, she will become Kritartha. Why? Because she has given birth to a Brahma Jnani. And what is this mother? Kwa Mata, Pita, Kwa? The questions are asked in our Shastras. Who is really our mother? Who is really a father? So when that situation comes, you cannot sacrifice Brahma Jnana for the care of mother, physical mother. That's why I said, be responsible to the Daiva Mata, not just the Deha Mata. So should you not take care? Should you not take her to the hospital and things like that? Of course you should do. Whatever is in your responsibility, sphere responsibility, do. But with a complete dispassion. Ultimately, I know it's a body. If its time comes to go, it has to go. I am nobody to ask yes or no. I cannot ask her to stay longer because she has her own karma, she has her own cycle of things that is under direct governance of God. I am no influencer to that. I can only take care of my karmas and my gunas and my problems. Truly, that much only I can do. Yes, but in a family, when I need to, she says, come, cut vegetables, help me in the kitchen, or go and get some things from outside, help me clean the house. Kwa Mata, Kwa Pita, you are not my mother, I am not your son. She'll also tell, when food is cooked, Amma ready? Kwa Mata, Kwa Putra, get law. So this kind of ardha logic, half logic doesn't apply. But your awareness is there. See, Shankaracharya also had a mother, was or not? When she died, Shankaracharya came all the way and cremated her. It was against the sannyasa dharma. Everybody got very angry with Shankaracharya, including the village people. They said, what kind of this is like dharma brashta, we should not allow him in the village. And he said, nothing doing, I have promised my mother, I am still her son and I will do this antyeshti. They said, we are not going to come and help you. He alone carried the mother's dead body on his shoulder all the way to near the river and he cremated her by himself. Nobody attended the funeral. He and his deceased mother. That's all. So that is Jnani. He is able to do his duty not out of attachment but out of sense of duty. It's given to me, I must do it. Like Janaka who rules. So those people who have this dilemma, what will happen to our relationships with our parents and near and dear ones? Nothing will happen. It will become better because your expectations will vanish, your attachments will reduce, unnecessary, unwanted talking and engaging with them will come down. So you will only do what is necessary with them. Beyond that you will not, because beyond that we don't have this relationship. Once you die, who is mother, who is father? Nobody knows you. You are only in the photo, but who knows? So this is the direction the Jnani gets. This Vairagya also Jnani gets. Shankaracharya's Vairagya. At the same time, dutifulness is there. Why? As a responsible son, whatever role in the drama I have to play, I will play accordingly. But did Shankaracharya shed tears and tears and prayed to mother? See, when one lady gave him amalaka, dry gooseberry, poor lady, when Shankaracharya was only 7, begging, around this ashram, and that time all the brahmacharis were bhikshus. They have to beg and bring food to the ashram. How? They bring it to ashram, then everybody put the food together, and then it's cooked and everybody gets to eat. It means if you don't go begging and get the food, you don't get food in the ashram that day. That is the Gurukula system of education. So he went begging, and he saw a long queue of his brother bhikshus or the brahmacharis who were in front of one rich man's house. And he was giving away, this much, lot of rice, lot of this. So these brahmacharis thought, the other fellows thought, oh my, our quota will get over fast. We can beg only in one house, get so much rice and go back. We don't have to go the whole village. This man is giving a lot of rice and fruits and all that, vegetables. So they all went and queued up there. And that man was very happy. So many bhikshus have come. Imagine in those days, if a brahmachari or a brahmana lands up at your home, you consider it your great privilege. Oh, I am getting an opportunity to give dana to a brahmana. Like that, they used to feel so good about it. So they were giving. This Shankaracharya, very observant, very, very discriminating one. He saw, what is this man doing? He says, he's giving, and how much he's giving? He's giving 2 handfuls of rice to every bhikshu or whatever. And he sees that he has a whole granary full of grains. Yet he donates only so much and still feels great. I have done so much today. He didn't like this attitude. What did he do? He went to another house where nothing was there, nobody was there. The house was dilapidated. And when he went Bhiksham Dehi, a lady came out from the house, an old lady. And she felt so terrible. A Brahman has come, what a privilege to ask something from my house, who doesn't deserve to give to a Brahman because I don't have anything. But he has come and asked me, what should I give, what should I give? I have nothing to offer. So there is a small pot in which she puts her hands, her chest, like how they used to keep earlier, they hang up from the up, so that, rats, cats don't get into that. So she pulled out one, put her hand, scraped and found one small dry gooseberry, amala. And with great pain in her heart, at the same time great fulfillment that she's able to offer something. If there was, that also was not there, what she would have done. So with great prayer, she offered that to Shankara. Shankara was moved by her sincere devotion. And he cried. Cried to whom? Lakshmi. And what did he say? Look at this lady, she is suffering, yet she donates. Look at that man, he has everything, yet he does not. Her sacrifice is superior. Oh mother, have some mercy on her. He sings Kanakadhara Stotram, they say. And Kanakadhara starts, Kanakavrishti. Gold gooseberries start falling, made in gold, from nothing, from thin air, onto the roof of this lady. Thus, that Shankara, who could make gold gooseberries shower on some lady's house, as a son, should he not have asked, please Gyama, extend my mother's life for another 250 years? Could have. So should we say as a dharma of the son, he did not do, he should have prayed for extension of the life. Is that what is life about? Shankara knew what is life, what is not life. So he knew that this is part of the process, the nature, birth and death. It will go, people will come and people go at the right time. So they let it go. Why should you cry? That is what Krishna says, Jatasya dhruvam mrityu. Those who are born, they will die. Dhruvam janma mritasya. Those dying, they may be born again. Tasmat, what cannot be solved? Apariharya. It cannot be solved. This problem cannot be removed. So why do you cry? Natvam shochatum harasya. Why do you do sorrow? Why you experience sorrow? That is jnanis. Tomorrow if your mother goes through some trouble, you'll run to the hospital, you'll call the doctor, you'll get the medicine, you'll do everything in your might. As a dutiful son. But you will not become sorrowful. Because whatever she goes through, she has her own karma account, she's going through her own process. So what I'm saying is that your dispassion is that. You will be involved in your day-to-day affairs, duties, but in your heart of hearts, you know how far and not further. That discrimination will help you. So you will not develop unnecessary attachments with anybody. You will not develop unnecessary friendships, unwanted things you will not speak, hear or do. And if gunas trouble you at some point in time, what you will do? You run to God and say, Bhiksham Dehi. What Bhiksha? Jnana Vairagya. You only can help me. Guru Paduka Stotram. Vairagya Samrajyada Pujanabhyam. Namo Namah Shri Guru Padukabhyam. Vairagya Samrajya. What Samrajya? Kingdom of Vairagya. He is not asking for BDA plot, not asking for flats. He is not asking for even ruling a king as a king piece of earth. Vairagya Samrajya. You worship him, Pujana. He is a Pujanabhyam. Vairagya. He himself has a Vairagya Samrajya. He is the king of the Vairagya Samrajya. Who? Guru. He is a king. See how is they treating Guru? Not a beggar. He is a king of Vairagya Samrajya. So only a king who has Vairagya can give you some Vairagya, isn't it? If the king has money, gold, he can give you gold. If king has lands, he can give lands. If king has cows, he can give cows. Our king has what? Vairagya. Because the king of Vairagya kingdom. So what can he give us? Vairagya. So what should we beg him for? Vairagya. So when you come to God, here onwards, if you really want to get rid of all your gunas and really want to lead a permanent, eternal life of happiness and peace, what should you beg? What should you pray? Beg you must, because there is no other way you can get it. What should you beg? Vairagya, Jnana Vairagya Siddhyartham. Give me Jnana, give me Vairagya, give me Bhakti. Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. They say Bhakti's two sons are Jnana and Vairagya. If you have real Bhakti, you will get Jnana and Vairagya, it seems. So you pray for Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. Let my Bhakti not be a Bhakti which does not bear sons at all. No? She should not be a barren mother. Let my Bhakti not be a barren Bhakti, dry Bhakti, which cannot produce sons of Jnana and Vairagya. Let my Bhakti be so fertile that it should produce the two sons of Jnana and Vairagya for me. So what do you ask for Bhagwan? Bhagwan, give me Bhakti, Jnana, Vairagya. That's precisely what Vivekananda asked, that's what Shankara asked. But Bhukti people cannot ask for this. What will Bhukti people get? Ajnana and just the opposite of Vairagya, Raga. This Viraga, they will get Raga. Because they have asked for Bhukti, they get Ajnana and Raga. Those who ask for Bhakti, they get Jnana and Vairagya. So this Bhakti should have, many people, somebody also wrote a question to me, Swami, everywhere Bhakti has been praised so much. Suddenly you are taking one new turn. All the time Brahman you are saying. Nirakara. Just weeks ago you took Bhakti Yoga and said Bhakti will take you there, take you here. And now suddenly you say Bhakti is fine. Have Bhakti, no doubt. But with Bhakti should come this Mukti. Otherwise there is no point. So Jnana, what is Jnana? Is Jnana greater than Bhakti? I tell Jnana is greater than everything. Nahi Jnanena Sadrusham. There is nothing like Jnana. But they are confusing themselves with Jnana Marga and Jnana. See, the end of all Margas is Jnana only. Whether you go by bus, car, train, you are going to Bangalore only. But problem is that they are saying Jnana Marga and Jnana, they are getting confused. So get that clear. Jnana Marga is the method, Jnana is the destination. That destination is attained by Bhakti also. Why it is not said? Yam Ladva Puman. What happens? Atma Ramo Bhavati, Amruto Bhavati. How did Atma Rama means you feel the Rama inside your heart. Amruto, you become immortal. So that should be the end result of Bhakti also. Bhakti cannot be just coming, doing bhajans, chanting, writing poems, letters, stotrams to God. Bhakti should lead to Jnana only ultimately. Therefore, Bhakti also should lead to Jnana Vairagya. So that is one person, somebody's question was there about Bhakti and Jnana. Bhakti and Jnana are two margas. The result of both is only Jnana at the end. Bhakti Marga, Jnana Marga, Karma Marga, Raja Marga, whatever yogas. Ultimately, the result from all this should be Jnana only. You come by Bhakti, you purify mind. See, one beautiful story, Ramakrishna Paramahamsa is there. He is Bhakti Margi in the beginning. He loved Mother Kali and he would talk to her and he will... This Totapuri one fellow was. Totapuri was Advaita Vedantin. And he was not believing in any Saguna, no form. So to what extent he would laugh at those who would worship the forms. And he ended up in Dakshineshwar. And he wanted a small place to stay and do his sadhana, somewhere in a corner. So he was given a place, he was living in the Panchavati there, doing his own sadhana. What sadhana? He will not come to the temple, he will not attend any pujas. He will be sitting in his own corner and keep doing some, chintana, atma vichara and jnana. So that is what he was doing. So this Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, curiosity, he wanted to learn. So he went there and found out that this man knows something which he does not know. He knows Jnana Marga, so he wanted to taste that also. Because he tried everything. And finally concluded that my mother is the best, but my mother is not just the body, the form. My mother is the Brahmani. She is the Yantri, used to call. We are all Yantras. She is the Yantri. But he went to this Totapuri. And he prayed to his mother. Mother said, yes, you go, you have to learn something from him. So he went there. Despite everybody saying, don't go, he's a crazy person. He went there and this Totapuri said, what is this mother all the time, like a small boy, like child behind mother's sari. You have to realize your Atman, Brahman, because you are still deluded that till then mother is physical form, he's talking to subtle form, whatever you now. But Totapuri wanted to teach him that mother is not the ultimate, Brahman is the ultimate. So this Ramakrishna Paramahamsa went there, took the permission, and Totapuri kept on scolding him for getting too attached to the subtle form of the mother. And kept on scolding, and he told, you should learn how to do Atma Vichara, Viveka Chintana, all that. And he made him sit down and telling, you think of now. So anytime he'll close his eyes, mother only comes. Because Saguna Bhakti he has done so far. Nirguna is very difficult for him. Close your eyes, mother. The moment mother comes, he is happy, he forgets that what he is sitting here for. He's lost his thoughts. And Totapuri will get angry. You come here to learn Nirguna Bhakti, and you're again going back to the same Saguna Bhakti. So what he'll do, he'll tell you, concentrate. And he'll take one piece of glass and cut him here, so that it pains and he can focus on that. So he'll cut him deep in his forehead like this, with the piece of glass. Till focus on your Agnya. Okay. And he starts focusing. And then he focuses correctly. 3 days he doesn't come out of the Samadhi. Totapuri gets worried. He doesn't know how to pull him out of it. He thought some 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, best case half a day. Because that is what Totapuri was capable of. But this is Ramakrishna has gone off into Samadhi 1 day, 2 days. News goes to Rani Rasmani. They all get very upset. What is this he has done to our Guru? Guru in the sense they were worshipping him as a Guru then. So they all come and make a big noise, and after 3 days, these people make noise and wake him up from the Samadhi, and he comes out. And this Totapuri tells, who are you? I took 40 years to practice this, till I never got this kind of a Samadhi. Akhanda Samadhi. I didn't get it. Small Samadhis I got. Who are you? How did you do this? 3 days at a stretch you went off. I am not knowing how to deal with you. Of course, he said, that is my mother's Mahima. At the end. So Totapuri is back to my mother's Mahima, he says. I don't know what I did. You told me concentrate here, I concentrated. Like a good obedient student. What happened after that is my mother's Mahima. So Nirguna he went and came back to same saying Suguna. Then Totapuri says what to do. He doesn't know how to deal with the Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. Because he knows he's a bigger Jnani than him, because he has attained that Samadhi just like that, and that to Akhanda Samadhi. Then Ramakrishna explains to him later. It seems Totapuri wanted to kill himself after that, because he felt so dejected with his teaching and idea. But when he goes to jump into Ganga, the water disappears, it seems. That is mother's Mahima again. She doesn't allow him to drown himself. And he comes back to Ramakrishna and says, I bow down to that mother of yours, because you have taught me something. I thought I was here to teach you, but looks like I was here to learn from you. So Ramakrishna Paramahamsa attains Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And actually the credit goes to Totapuri, because so far he was just happy dealing with the mother, chatting with the mother and having good time. Anybody comes, mother is saying this, mother is saying that. He had not gone and experienced that state of Bhava Samadhi. Not yet. He was only experiencing mother in the subtle through the yoga, dhyana yoga. But he had not experienced the all-pervasiveness of the mother experientially. Theoretically he knew. Then he calls and says, Totapuri, whether the snake is coiled and lying or snake is wriggling and going, both are snakes only, isn't it? You have to accept both are snakes. Like that, whether that Brahman is Saguna or Brahman is Nirguna, everywhere, both are Brahman only. My mother is nothing other than Brahman. That Brahman has taken this form and now she is leading. So that was not only expanded the experience of Sri Ramakrishna, he became a Paramhamsa. That is the credit to Totapuri's method. But also Totapuri benefited from Ramakrishna's devotion. So Saguna, Nirguna is not like two different compartments. But unless you experience the Nirguna, you will not appreciate the true value of Saguna. Unless you experience what Nirguna Bhakti is. In the sense you at least experience that you are a part and parcel of the divine spark. You are not different from the one whom you worship. You will not fully appreciate the magnanimity, the grandeur, the glory of that Saguna form also which you are worshipping. Theoretically you will keep telling. That's why you say, oh, Sadguru, Parabrahma Rupa. What do you know? What do you understand of it? Simply you are telling like parrots. Somebody taught you bhajan, you are repeating the bhajan, behind you all are repeating. But who knows? Nobody. So to know that, we need all these methods. And once you attain that, the knower of that, you will feel one with everything. You might still enjoy the bhakti. But did our Ramakrishna not enjoy bhakti? Though he experienced the Nirguna. Did Shankaracharya not enjoy bhakti? Though he had experienced Vedanta. Great bhakta, how many shlokas, how many things he has written about almost all gods. How he could write when he knows that it's only Nirguna and I should not worship the Saguna? Because he knew this is also that, that is also this. Somebody came and told, my mother is always wanting to go to temples. And theoretically, I'm a young boy. She doesn't understand God is everywhere. No, why she keeps troubling me to go to temple? The Guru said, that's precisely what she knows. Because God is everywhere, he is also in the temple, so she goes to the temple. Otherwise, the theoretical knowledge you can tell God is everywhere. Why should I go and follow this? Why should I do bhajans? Why should I do meditation? But do you know? Do you experience it? You only know theoretically. You really don't experience it. So for that experience to happen, when you say Swami is everywhere, Antarbahishta, he is inside me, he is outside me, do you experience? That is my question. Is your words authentic? Do you have authority to say that? On what basis? My question is. Karunamaya, you say, I agree. You have experienced some karuna. Premamaya, you agree. You experience some prema. Apad Bandhavaya, I agree. Somewhere some trouble I saved you from. Kshama Murti, I agree. Sometimes I have forgiven for things. But Brahma, when you say, which is what you say God is, Swami is, what do you understand of it is a question. So should you not know your Swami better? Completely, with authority, so that nobody else can shake that conviction. Tomorrow if something goes wrong, Swami doesn't forgive you, somebody tells you some wrong things about Swami, what will happen? Bhakti, Vishwasa will shake like this. But when you have experienced Swami as the real Parabrahman, can anybody shake your faith? You'll say, I have experienced it. I have experienced, what are you talking? Whatever you talk, it's all right, I have experienced this. Nobody can shake your faith after that. Nobody can shake your faith in Swami, faith in you, faith in the whole universe, which is nothing but divine. Nobody. To develop that kind of unshakable conviction and faith, in your Saguna also you need Nirguna. Otherwise you will not develop that permanent faith. That is what I was telling the other day, God of gaps, they say now. Science can explain everything. What science cannot explain, we fit God into that. This is why God is there. See, where science could not explain this, that's why we believe God is there who did this. Science will tell, wait, 10 years later I will tell you how this also happens. Then our gap of the God will start reducing and atheists will increase in numbers. Why did atheists come into picture? Because they couldn't get answers properly. They never had any experience. Whatever theoretically was told to them, they listened, but they never had any experience of it. So when some other theory came into picture, which was contrary to the present theory, they lost faith. So to maintain even your faith, you need to experience the ultimate Nirguna. Otherwise you will shake somewhere. So from all points of view, for your own happiness, Sukham Shashvatam, you should experience that. to get rid of all your vagaries of mind and have a perfect peaceful life, Shanti Shashwatam, you have to experience that. Even otherwise, you think, no, I love Swami and I would love to worship a form of Swami. Even to worship it perfectly, correctly, and understand what true bhakti is, you have to experience that. So my question is that from all points of view, you have to experience that. Then why delay? Why delay? Why should you even not put the effort? You should put the effort, because the very reason you are here is to experience that. If you don't experience that, you being here is of no use. You have not realized the full potential of it. Therefore, you have to experience that. So, Vairagya, Jnana, Siddhyartham. Ask God, God give me Jnana, Vairagya. I used to tell, please ask Swami for Swami's sake. Swami, I want you. What do you mean by Swami, I want you? What do you mean? That's what I'm asking. Ask God for God's sake. Oh, what a wonderful thought. Don't we think Swami is teaching us, don't ask for silly, stupid things. He's the king. If you get the king, you get the kingdom. All of us got. All 6th class fellows will repeat this. But what does he mean when he says Swami, I'm asking for Swami? What does he mean? That Swami will be always with him when he goes to the toilet in the night, so he will not be afraid. Maybe that will help him to some extent. Swami will help me pass my exams because he's with me. Okay, yes, that is also true. Swami will find me a job tomorrow. Yes, probably. A wife and a home. Yes, probably. Swami will take care of my parents and their problems. Yes, that also he'll do. But is this what's me asking? What you did? You said, I am asking Swami, but in behind there is one whole list of things. Why you are asking God? Because when I get God, secretly I am also desiring for all these other things. That is why you want Swami. Swami for Swami's sake means what? Means what? Ask yourself, what is that meaning? It means you realize Swami. What is realizing Swami? Realizing Swami as what? As who? Not as a form, not as a name. Tamatmastham, within yourself who stays. Anupashyanti dhira, the one who sees that, tesham sukham shashvati, netaresham. For him the permanent happiness arrives. For everybody else there is no permanent happiness. So what do you mean by realizing Swami? You realize that truth of Swami, who is so to say what you say, Parabrahma Swarupa, as a part and parcel, you are a part and parcel of that Parabrahma Swarupa, as a Jivatma. Unless you realize that you really don't know Swami, your devotion is not paripakva, it's not mature. Your devotion is not complete, it's not perfect. Because the one who is devotion is perfected, Atma Ramo Bhavati, Siddho Bhavati, Trupto Bhavati, Amruto Bhavati. So if you have not become all these Bhavatis which has been mentioned just now, it clearly says your devotion is not complete. Even if you say, I am a devotee, I don't care about Jnana Marga, perfect. Bhakti Marga you care about? Okay, perfect your devotion. That also will lead you there only. The moment your devotion perfects, Jnana Vairagya will appear like two suns. Naturally it will appear to you. So how is it that possible that you don't have Jnana Vairagya, yet you claim to yourself to be devotee? That's why the other days our people had come and they're telling, Swami, some devotees are behaving like this, doing like that. He told, who said they are devotees? Who said they are devotees? They are saying they are devotees, you are saying they are devotees. I am not saying they are devotees. Ashram residents you can say. Staff you can say. Volunteers you can say. Who allowed you to give him Bhakta Upadhi of he is a devotee? That I only can tell. So they are all here trying to be devotees. So don't claim yourself and wear the crown of devotee and badge of devotee. Is not true devotee. Devotee is the one Atma Ramo Bhavati, Siddho Bhavati. Otherwise call yourself Artis, Arthartis, Jignasus, best. Don't call yourself Bhaktas. True bhakti is Parama Prema Rupaya, Amrita Swarupacha. Parama Prema, ultimate love. And Amrita Swarupa, immortality is its true nature, its form. And when one gets it, Atma Ramo Bhavati, becomes one with the divine. Till then your bhakti is not mature. You have some love, you have some affection, some attachment to God, good. You are on the right path. But your devotion is mature when you know yourself as the same as that divine. Like Hanuman understood and said, Atma Bhavena Tvameva Aham. I am you when I think I am the Atman. So if you can reach that state and claim that, then you are a devotee, you are a jnani, you are everything. You are the God himself. in another form. So that kind of devotion also will lead to jnana. But if Shankaracharya went and begged, he begged out of devotion for jnana and vairagya. There's a Bhagavatam story that by Bhakti has two sons called Jnana and Vairagya. So in Kali Yuga, to get Jnana Vairagya, you need to have Bhakti. That's what Bhagavatam concludes, because it's a Bhakti-based document, you see. In Treta Yuga, Kruta Yuga, Jnana Vairagya were more important. But in Kali Yuga, if you want to have Jnana Vairagya, which is a must, first you should have Bhakti, which is the mother of the two. So Bhakti Marga will also lead there. This is somebody's question. I don't want them to get confused that suddenly Swami is changing the whole narrative. All this while we were thinking we are supposed to be devotees, suddenly he is telling you have to be jnanis. No, it's not different. Bhakti's ultimate end result is jnana only. Jnana only is the end result. And that won't come unless you have vairagya. Meera couldn't have sat in the palace and become bhakta. She walked out because this was against her feelings. This was obstructing her. She walked out. Purandaradasa said, I don't want this shop and wealth and everything, wife and children. That's not my lookout. He walked out, Gana Vairagya. Otherwise, how will he be a bhakta? Take any bhakta for that matter. Any bhakta, Ramadas, Bhadrachala Ramadasa, or we went to our Annamacharya. Everybody is Jnana Vairagya. All bhaktas were Jnanis and Vairagis. Tell me one bhakta was real bhakta, from my definition, not your, who was not a Jnani or who was not a Vairagi. Tell me one example. Not one example is there. Every bhakta was a Jnani, every bhakta was endowed with Vairagya. How did it come? Because of bhakti it came to them. So now you are at that stage where the superficial top level you have cleared. Because with little viveka, circumstances, fear, you have taken care of some of those external manifestations of your ragas. You are able to control your eyes, ears, nose, mouth, tongue, body parts. You are able to take control. Do you think you are some vairagya? Yes, you have attained some. I am not saying you are not. But these all are temporary. It will come back again. The para vairagya will come only with viveka purita, means complete discrimination, conviction and bhakti. God alone has to grant you, bless you, destroy karma dvamsine. He alone can do all these things. Once it is done, you are free. That is why I am saying, antarvikalpa shunyasya. Inside there is no feelings. Neither happy feelings nor sad feelings. Good feelings or bad feelings. Dvaita is not there. Antarvikalpa shunyasya. Bahir swachanda charina. Roams around free. Nobody can bind such a person. Nothing can bind such a person. Can Meera be bound by anything? If the king had come and told Meera, stay back, I'll make a palace for you. Separate palace. I'll give you all the jewelry. She would have stayed back. No way. If Annamacharya would have been told, he already had 2 wives, I give you another 2 wives. He left those 2 wives also and went. Nobody can stop a jnani from attaining God. For being God, not even attaining, he's already attained that feeling. So that is the power. I was telling, so much of freedom, so much of power at your hand. Yama says, for Brahma Jnani, I am nobody. I cannot control him. I am nobody in front of him. That is Brahma Kshatram cha Odana. Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are Odana, means food to that Brahma Jnani. Means their power is nothing in front of Brahma Jnani. And what am I? Mrityu sa upasechana, he said. I am the side dish. Chutney, papad. That much only my power is in front of a Brahma Jnani. He can finish me like a papad. Look at the power of Brahma Jnani. Look at the power of the knower of the Atman. And why you should know? Because by knowing that only you know who truly Swami is. Till then you will have your imagination like the blind people trying to understand what an elephant is like. You will never know who Swami is. Why so many people have lost their way even though they are devotees of Swami? Scores of people, young and old, have lost their way in life. Because they never understood who truly Swami is. He was a god of favors. And they loved him for that. But what he really came to teach, I have come to give you something, but only when you stop asking for all things. That nobody. Very few. That is why I say I don't hardly have any jnanis in my kitty of devotees. Most of them are arti, artharthi, jignasu at best. So millions of devotees. But so all this, even that will remove the attachment from forms, you see. All kinds of forms. There is everywhere you will see. You will experience him within. And you will get rid of everything. All attachments will go away. Otherwise, people have cried, not that they shouldn't have cried. Swami left the body, scores of people cried. Why? They can tell like Arjuna, we love our Swami so much that we cannot live without him. Are they not living today? They all are living quite happily also. Finally, how could they live happily? Because they took the refuge in the thought that our Swami is not just the body, he is Brahman. Though they don't understand. But theoretically, they have taken refuge in that thought. So they are surviving, even if they were emotionally wrecked at that time. Or else their devotion was not complete, whichever way you call it, positive or negative. But still they don't know that Swami is Brahman because they have not experienced. That's why I go on repeating. Now realize who true Swami is. And this time when you say Swami is Parabran, he is everywhere, that's why there is no need of feeling sorry that he is not here or not with me or I am not with him. This time you will really tell truly from your heart. Not a lip, not a dialogue, just to escape. You will really say from your heart because you really believe and you experience this. So do that. Because how long this form or this name or this place will stay, tell me. Definitely you will live, most of you here will live longer than this form. Most of you here. So what are you going to do? Again cry for 10 days, oh I lost my Swami, and 11th day found in a cinema theatre. And somebody says, oh what happened? No, Swami is Brahman. That's why we don't have to worry. He is there in cinema theatre, he is there in food, he is there in enjoyment also. Why should we reject that? See, that thinking should not come. If that comes, then should come with real experience. That I have not lost Swami, I have not lost anything because I know he is Brahman. And I know it because I know it as good as a gooseberry on my palm. I know him as closely as that. Therefore, I am confident. Therefore, I don't have to shed tears. See, that knowledge must come to every devotee. That's why I am putting so much effort. For once you know who your Swami truly is. Not theoretically, not intellectually, but experientially you should know. That's why all this effort. Don't entertain yourself with unwanted discussions. That's not going to lead you anywhere. Plunge straight in. Those who sit on the ocean and by the shores and watch the ocean, they never get the pearls, they say. So stop discussing how big is the ocean, how beautiful is the ocean, how vast is the ocean, how amazing is the ocean. That's not going to give you the pearl. Dive in, you'll get the pearls. Same thing, how beautiful Swami was, how nice he was, he used to walk, he used to talk, he used to sing, he used to say. Yes, you can all entertain yourself, but that's not going to lead you anywhere at the end. That is the bare truth, that is a straight, flat truth. That you should put effort for. If you really want to know who Swami is, you have to become Swami, and becoming Swami is just this. Become your true selves. And that requires nothing. You don't have to get it from somewhere, it's already there. Just covered with dust, rust. Remove that, shine again. That's all, it is so simple. For everything you need to get it from everywhere. For this, everything is there within you. Just get rid of all the unwanted. What is wanted is already there. So getting rid of unwanted is last piece that you have to get rid of is all your gunas. Because once you got rid of them, never again they'll come and trouble you in your life. And how to get rid of guna? One, you have to have dhriti. You should have determination, I must get rid of it. Two, put your efforts, conscious viveka, practice viveka. Third, do bhakti. Pray to Swami, pray to God, pray to whichever deity you think. Guru, tell please help me because I'm sincere this time, I don't want to miss the bus. Please remove it from the root for once for all and redeem me from this yatana. That should be the attitude of everybody. So as you end this week, I know even if you are peaceful today, a week later you will not be peaceful. Because those gunas will start growing again, like this hair. Barber was not there, everybody's hair was. So that is what it is. I told Narsimha, if I give you a magic razor, you shave and never you have to shave again. All the men will be relieved here, once for all. You have this headache, because in Swami's ashram they don't allow. So what happens? We need a barber, we need a shave. If I give you a trick, your hair will never grow out beyond what it is. Your beard and moustache will not grow. Water relief. No, those who are shaving only will know. The kids will not know the relief. But imagine what a relief it is, because, so this is the magic. Once you know this, you are really redeemed. No vasana, no guna, no karma, no parabdha, no nothing will trouble you. You will sail through smoothly. So bhakti also is important, and at this stage when vairagya you want, without bhakti you cannot attain it. So don't tell me that I am a Vedantin, suddenly I have shifted gears, suddenly I am going, no, I am not going on any wrong road. I am not going on any other road, it's the same road. I am just making you aware that this road also has this. You are always seeing the right side of the road. I am asking you to see the left side of the road also. There is scenery on the left also. Watch that. That's what I am saying. Jnana, vairagya is there as a part of bhakti, not out of bhakti. In fact, without bhakti, both are not possible. Both are not possible at all. So do bhakti, but param bhakti, para bhakti, not this apara bhakti. And the ultimate bhakti parakashta should be amruto bhavati, atmaramo bhavati, which is jnana, which is vairagya. So please put this kind of effort.